Welcome everyone back to another episode of Q&A with Sharon's son George. I was my mother's caregiver after she was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. Unfortunately, she passed on 1/1/2020, so we started Together for Sharon.com in her memory and to advocate today for a cure for all those still battling PD and their families, because I believe, and I believe our guests will agree, no one is ever alone in this fight for a cure. Today's guest is somebody I've been really researching, following, and loving for a long time now. And it's been a beautiful moment today that we can come together for one purpose, and that's really to advocate. And it's just an honor, Doctor, to have you with us. And again, I just think you're a role model for so many in the Parkinson's community, but also so many others outside that we're going to hopefully reach today. So welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
I really appreciate it. And again, it's amazing. I know you're still battling Parkinson, but you really get out there and you advocate, and you're someone I admire. So maybe we could start the show by telling the audience a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Shafaq. I am 45 years old now and was diagnosed with Parkinson's in 2019 when I was 40 years old. I was diagnosed then, but I was symptomatic for quite a few years prior to that, probably I would say about 2011-12. My symptoms probably started beginning in earnest, but it took a while for me to put the whole thing together. So yes, basically I currently live in Yorkshire. I'm a dentist. I'm still working at the moment, though I am beginning to wind down. And I absolutely love the Parkinson's community. I was so upset when I first got my diagnosis, but then as time got on, I found the support within the community immense. And now I found myself becoming a part of them and being a big advocate for them as well.
No, I think you're one of the biggest advocates because I see you all over the place, and I love I always share and like everything that you're working on. Also, it's very rare to have a dentist. We have my mother unfortunately had Parkinson's for 15 years. Towards the last year, she had a lot of medical problems due to her teeth. They wanted me to
Oh,
send her,
bless.
they wanted to send her to Miami for major surgery, and she was so progressed with Parkinson's. It's just kind of the caregiver story where you try and battle one symptom, but then there's another. And then when you feel like you might have something under control, another one, and who would even imagine teeth? But I
That's just
think
it.
I think maybe we can even touch a little bit more on teeth.
Yeah, let's touch on that because I'm quite passionate about that as well.
I
Yeah,
mean,
not surprisingly,
no, but it's sadly that it's not a big issue because it should be at the forefront
it
of a
should
lot
be.
of the conversation.
Absolutely. I think it's going to become more so, but
Well, maybe
we'll
you can
discuss that
add.
later.
No, I'd love to, and I'm going to share a lot of the work you do today. But before we get to that, maybe you can talk a little bit about, working as a dentist and being diagnosed with Parkinson's, but how important, again, that we just mentioned, and why it's not seen a lot. Dental work and taking care of yourself is, even with Parkinson's, so important.
Okay. So, yeah, dentistry and my Parkinson's. You'd think that a person with Parkinson's wouldn't be able to practice dentistry anymore, wouldn't you? I mean, but actually, I have to say, dentistry, I love working with people. I love my job. I love I know it's very sad, but I do love looking after people's teeth and making them feel better about themselves. So actually, dentistry for me has actually, although now it's quite, my tremor can be quite intrusive sometimes. At the beginning, dentistry was like a balm. I would go in the morning and I'd be stressed with my Parkinson's and my tremor would be on. But then I'd start talking to patients and now I'd be fine, absolutely fine throughout the day. It was like it switched off my Parkinson's. Like some people, they start running after walking and their Parkinson looks like it goes away. With me, I felt like at the beginning, I'd pick up the drill and my Parkinson's would go away. It wasn't quite like that, but I felt a lot like that. Now it definitely isn't that. And over time, I have found that with dentistry, working in dentistry, I do find it difficult to do certain things. So I have cut those back. Like, for example, surgery. I don't do much surgery anymore. And I keep my days shorter. With regards to oral health and Parkinson's and my own dentistry, I mean, the first things I made sure I did do was I bought two electric toothbrushes because there's always always the batteries run out on one type thing that needs charging. So I had two electric toothbrushes because however good we are at toothbrushing, you always lose some dexterity with Parkinson's. So it's always better to top up with an electric toothbrush. That was the first thing one of the first things I did for my oral health. I'm still okay with flossing, but I've begun looking at things like water flossers and things like that. So with oral health, there's loads we can do. That's a whole discussion, and I'll wait maybe until you tell me to get into that discussion.
I mean, I enjoy it. I've been thinking, I borrowed my daughter's water pick, and it was a disaster. The water squirts so much. I had to do it in the shower, and then I couldn't.
That's what I tell my patients to do. I say to my patients,
And I,
don't do the water pick in your bathroom after,
oh my God.
do it when you have your shower. Do it then, because otherwise the water goes everywhere. I mean, it's fantastic for patients who aren't able to floss very well or just aren't able to floss anymore at all. It's fantastic. But it does make a mess. Sorry,
Working in
water
the
pick.
working as a police officer over my career, it looked like a crime scene, but it was just water, thanks.
Just water, thankfully, yes.
Well, I do want to talk a little bit more. Maybe you can discuss that as I share a few of the beautiful areas of advocacy that you do. And again, the main thing today is awareness, and that's what I want everyone to. During these holidays, I challenge everyone, if you have a moment, please just share and support the incredible doctor here, because that's what this is for. I feel if we reach just one person out there that might be curious about talking about dentistry, or that you're still, battling this, but such an incredible advocate. There's people in the world, throughout the world, that I admire, and you're one of them, because like individuals like Michael J. Fox, we know you can lead a private life, but instead you fought it head on, and really are out there advocating and changing lives one at a time, because there's so many
Right.
people who don't know things, or I wasn't aware when I was a caregiver of my mother. We would have dreamed of picking up a little phone like we're doing our Zooming with you. We probably all would have laughed together or maybe cried a little, but it would have been just a beautiful moment. And now, everyone listening, this is your opportunity now. So please go to actually it's DR_SF, and I'll put in the notes too, _HUSSAIN on X. They change the name every week, so now it's called X. Also, I was really enjoyed, and I'll mute it, but I like playing some of the videos of the speakers, and PMD Alliance is a great one out there. They've been on our show, so thank you, and a shout out to them. But this is one of the actual interviews. Let's go there. You are.
With India.
Rather, yeah.
India's got a great piece
Yeah.
in the Parkinson Secrets on her website about oral health as well, which we did together with Mano. It's me. So
I always like
yeah,
showing my guests themselves speaking. It's always fun.
this was earlier on. It was, when is this from? I
Two
feel like
years,
I look,
2 years ago. 2 years ago.
yeah, well, I feel like I look a bit better then as well.
Oh, you look
Um,
great today, and your teeth are even better.
oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. Very kind of you.
Oh,
Um, Yeah, no, yeah, there's quite a few things that I've gotten involved in, but I really, really do think oral health is overlooked in Parkinson's, definitely.
yeah,
And
well, that's
it's
why.
such
No, I appreciate you bringing, really one of the first in the field to bring it to the attention, and there should be more. And no matter what, I'll be sharing this, and also sharing all that you do, so we can make a big major dent, I hope, in the world
I hope so.
industry.
And I think it's really important that people understand Parkinson's. I mean, the mouth is the gateway to the body. So if your mouth is healthy, then your body will be healthy as well. And equally, if your mouth is unhealthy, so for example, with periodontal disease, which is gum disease, if you have gum disease, your chances of getting Parkinson's are increased, chances of getting Alzheimer's are increased, chances of getting diabetes, chances of getting cardiovascular disease are all increased. And you wouldn't think that was the case, but it is the case. That's because bacteria quite literally, because your mouth is the gateway to the body and it connects directly with the rest of your body, the bacteria can spread. You can even get horrible pneumonias and all sorts if you're not careful. So to say that the mouth is the gateway to the body isn't an understatement, and it needs to really be looked after as such as well. So with teeth, when they go wrong, I think George, you were saying your mum's teeth you had problems with. When they go wrong, they go really wrong. I mean, you can get swellings, you can get pain, and the pain that you have from a toothache, it's horrible, absolutely horrible, because it's in your head, it's near your brain, all the nerves are firing, telling you to get this infection under control before it spreads. And where do they spread? They can spread to your brain, they can spread down your throat, they can make it difficult to breathe, swallow, all sorts. So Yes, do not underestimate the mouth and how important it is to keep the bacteria in one's mouth at a good level and keep the good bacteria, just like we keep in our tummy, we try and keep good bacteria, diverse bacteria. In our mouth, we need to try and keep the bacteria healthy as well. To that end, there's many things we can do. One of them is obviously making sure we brush twice a day. So you should brush before breakfast, which is unusual for some people. Some people like to brush after breakfast, but no, you should brush before breakfast. I always say brush before breakfast, don't rinse, which makes your breakfast taste a bit funny, but the fluoride is really important. If you have problems with cavities or you have problems with dry mouth, it might even be worthwhile consulting your doctor and asking for a high fluoride toothpaste, something like, can I name drop? Can I say
Oh
a
yeah.
company?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Colgate's Durafat is something that we frequently prescribe in the UK. And honestly, it's saved so many of my patients' teeth and so many patients that can't, especially like patients who are going through chemo, their mouths get very, very sore. They can't even use toothbrushes because their baby toothbrushes because their mouths are so sore. So what they do is they use what I've advised then in that instance is use a cotton bud, the little cotton buds with some of this Durafat on, and that's made such a difference to them because they're still able to get fluoride on their teeth, and their teeth haven't gotten as bad through the chemo as they might have done otherwise as a consequence. So yes, this high fluoride toothpaste is not to be underestimated. And just getting if you're finding that you are unable to clean your teeth as well as you would want to, then get in there with a hygienist every 3 months rather than waiting for 6 months or a year. And the other thing is your food, your diet. Don't underestimate. As people with Parkinson's, we have to have our medicines frequently, so we might have them with drinks. You've got to be careful. What are you drinking? And how much bacteria is that introducing? So if you're drinking something which is glucose rich, sugar rich, you're going to be providing a really rich substrate for bacteria in your mouth to multiply and grow, and we don't want that.
Yeah.
So just as you look after the bacteria in your tummy by drinking, things like kombucha or having fermented foods or whatever, you should look after the bacteria in your oral cavity, your mouth as well, by reducing the amount of sugar you have and carbohydrates generally, full stop.
And the nice thing is you can start this at any age. So if you haven't, if you've been neglecting, unfortunately, whatever the reason, we don't mind. It's now is the time to take care of it.
Exactly.
My wife, even she's in her 30s, she just has braces, the Invisalign. My daughter is now going to be about 12. It was a disaster at 7, so we took them out, which I didn't agree with. But
It is, yeah, it
now
is
she's going
difficult.
to try it.
7-year-olds don't always comply. It's difficult.
Well, I hope she does this time because I can't keep paying
She
for
should do now. She should do now,
it.
hopefully. I mean, she's older.
Yeah, but this is another major thing, which is what I have up, is how important this is internationally. So it's not just something in the US or UK, it's around the world. That's why I think, again, you're a global spokesperson, not just Parkinson, because a lot of these things are very important. And I do want to again shout out to Parkinson's Europe. I've worked with them before. They've done interviews with me and they've been beautiful. They even
They
shared
are brilliant. This
my
Amelia, she is fantastic.
and they share my book, which was really nice because I'm
Yeah.
just a guy, a little guy in the U.S., and to be able
You're
to,
not a little guy. Everyone is the same as one another. I
um,
firmly believe that we're all equal.
I think you're not because you're the best. You're above in my in
I
my
know that.
my book. So, but I do want to again thank you for another beautiful interview here. So everyone can also go to Parkinson's Europe. We support them to also support the amazing doctor. So there's just so much out there. Also, you're on Facebook. I'm going to share that. I think I want to see your number where likes go to 1 million. So until then, I will not rest until then. So I just
Oh, wow, you're so
thank.
kind.
So now I wanted to kind of shift a little bit, which you've already kind of touched on. Maybe we could talk a little bit again more on you. Can you list 3 words that describe who you are?
Oh, I can't remember. I think I even said to you, didn't I, over the email? But the 3 words that I would pick now would be dentist, talkative, and family orientated.
I love that, especially for the holiday. It's very important. You're already kind of breaking the walls and barriers and doing it, but how do you think we can, kind of share more Parkinson's awareness and come closer throughout the world to have a better understanding of what it is and how to slow the progression, but finally find a cure at all our doorsteps around the world?
It's a brilliant question you've asked. Thank you.
Mhm.
So one of the things we can do is collaborate. this scientists have this age-old, competition with one another that they need to, who's going to be the first to do this, who's going to be the first to do that. I think that needs to be put to one side. We need to collaborate and collaborate. Sooner we collaborate, the better. We're not competitors, we're collaborators. And the other thing we need to do is look broadly. We've been focusing very much on, so one of the things I do is I'm a member of the Race Equality and Research Programme, so with Parkinson's UK. And it's very important in that what we're trying to do is encourage people of all different ethnicities to partake, because at the moment, if we want to find a cure, we only have part of the puzzle of what my hand's shaking, sorry, part of the puzzle for what Parkinson's is. And we need the full picture. To get the full picture, we need people of all ages, all ethnicities, genders, ages, everything. We need it all over the world, different geographical locations, and we don't have that right now. So we need to be able to reach people, and it's so easy nowadays. Tomorrow morning, do you know what I'm doing? I'm lecturing to the ADPF, in Lagos tomorrow in Nigeria about, not lecturing, I hope it won't be a lecture, be an interactive talk is what I hope it will be, about oral health and Parkinson's in Nigeria. And I'm trying to do work with a university in London as well, trying to outreach to Bangladesh and hopefully Pakistan and India maybe as well. So I think one of the important things we need to do to find a cure is complete the picture of Parkinson's. If we've got an incomplete picture, we've only got analyses from people who live in the West, be they of all different ethnicities, but they only live in the West. The picture is not complete. How can you find a cure for something you don't even see properly or fully? We need to see the picture fully first. So we need to encourage people who would not normally partake in research to partake. We need to go to those villages in Africa, in the subcontinent, in China, Japan, wherever it might be. And we need to find the people who have Parkinson's, and we need to go and we need to get the data from them. The onus is on us as the people who, well, it's on, who want to progress this cause, to go and find these people and get the data. Data and communication and collaboration are the ways we're going to get there.
Thank you. Yeah, I had the honor to speak to an organization with Parkinson's in India, and we interviewed them. After my mother passed 2 years after, I realized there were about 1 million people or more in the U.S., and I was kind of dropped my books, dropped my heart, and couldn't believe it when I found out there were about 10 million people around the world with Parkinson's. Because when you live in a little bubble or shell in the U.S., sometimes you're not even aware that other people can be going through this. And that's when I decided it's not just about my mother and I, it was about everyone and how we had to be a family in the fight. And that's when I interviewed 1,000 people around the world, from India to Spain to Barcelona to
There you go. Aren't you amazing? See, you're doing your bit.
Well, it's all free too on Together for Sharon. That's not a plug.
Exactly. There you go.
But,
We all need
yeah,
to start sharing these podcasts.
no, I appreciate it. And we actually have Mr. Hannington on, who's become a friend from Africa, to really get awareness too about other areas, underserved populations and diverse populations. And
Yeah.
like you said, we have to be family in this. So I appreciate that. Is there one moment, and I know it's hard, but one moment or most memorable moment that stands out through most of your awareness that you can share so far?
One moment would probably be, oh gosh, that's difficult to pick out one moment. Most recently, I was awarded a community award from Parkinson's UK, and receiving that was a true honour. It was a real honour to receive that community award. So that's definitely a standout moment. Can I choose one more?
Oh, yeah, congratulations too on that one.
Thank you. One more would be when I gave a speech at a fashion show we did last year in London, where I was a model, but more than that, they permitted me to give a speech as well, and that was really quite something. It was quite memorable. It was a brilliant venue, and feedback I got from my friends, and it was just lovely because a lot of my friends were there. I'm from London originally, so a lot of my friends were there supporting me, and it was just fantastic. Really enjoyed the catwalk experience and the speaking experience there.
That's amazing, and I look forward to seeing more of your speeches very soon. And this next question is important, and for me, like probably one of the most important. Obviously, it's not always easy with a diagnosis of Parkinson, and also being an advocate and a public speaker and fighting out there for so many others. So I always want to take a moment and ask who helps you during times of struggle. I like to kind of shine the spotlight, not literally, but on the people behind the scenes in your life and send our love and thanks to them because I know that they likely play a big part in all the strength that you have. So especially during the holidays, we want to send our thanks and love to your family, to your friends, and to all the organizations that you work with and support you. But maybe I can let you answer the question.
Well, my husband and children first and foremost are my biggest supporters. My parents and my husband's parents, honestly, they're so sweet. They watch everything. And you know, my husband's parents are brilliant like that as well. They really, really support me. And you know, I'm sometimes I'm just blown away by how supportive they are. My siblings, but friends, Parkinson's UK, there's so many, but first and foremost, I would have to say it's my immediate nuclear family, you know, my husband, my two children. And also faith. For me, faith is a big thing.
Well, we thank all of those, including the faith, for giving you the strength to keep fighting, and it means so much to so many. Uh, is there something you might have done differently looking back the past 10 years in awareness?
In awareness raising,
Yeah.
I probably would have uh do you know what? No, I don't think there's much I would have done different. I mean, I was diagnosed 5 years ago, and I took out, I mean, in 2019, then COVID came, so I didn't do much then, but pretty much as soon as I could, I got out there and started doing things. So, if anything, I would have just said pick yourself up a bit sooner. But I think sometimes we people with Parkinson's, we can be a bit hard on ourselves. We need that downtime after diagnosis to just get used to things. So actually, no, you know what? I'm quite happy with the way things. I'm very grateful for the way things have panned out. And Amelia, the lady from Parkinson's Europe, she originally was the one who recruited me to Parkinson's UK for the race equality and research, and she's been in. You know, that was the first point where I started my advocacy from when I joined the research steering group there. So yes, I don't think I'd do anything different. If anything, I would just go back and give myself a hug and say, keep going.
And I'm sending a virtual one right now to you. That's
Thank you.
the only beautiful thing about this whole world of we've moved to online is that we have the beautiful opportunity to come together like this, and it's really.
Isn't it just amazing?
Unfortunately, there are a few negative things with the internet, but this is not one of them.
There are. There's pros and cons to everything, eh?
Likely someone listening may have just been diagnosed with Parkinson's. What advice could you provide to them?
Well, more or less what I just said. After you've been diagnosed, sometimes you do need some downtime. Don't be down upon yourself just because you need downtime. It's fine. Give yourself that downtime. Gather your strength. Pull yourself together slowly in your own time. Ask questions. Please, for the love of God, do not go and scare yourself by looking at Google too much. Ask people with experience. Understand that everybody is different in their experiences of Parkinson's and how they approach Parkinson's. And yeah, talk to people who've actually had it or have it, or their caregivers. And when you're ready, go out and start joining the support groups. Go out and start doing things online, joining, you know, X or Twitter or Facebook or whatever your social
Mhm.
media devices. Join and find the community, because the Parkinson's community is lovely. Really, honestly, I found nothing but wonderful. My husband is a surgeon, and just a funny story, if you give me a second. He was working in the neurology when he was a trainee. He was doing he was doing a rotation in neurology. And the neurologist consultant, or the attending, as you'd say in the States, he said to that my husband and the other doctor who was training with him, you know what, Parkinson's is unfortunately a disease which only gets nice people. Every single person I know with Parkinson's is really lovely. And you know what? And my husband and his colleague Julie said, no, what? No, what? We don't know. He goes, you know what? That's why I'm not too nice. Because if I was too nice, then I'd be prone to getting Parkinson's. So that's why I'm going to be mean to you. Now do X, Y, Z and get on with it now.
Oh my God. Well, I think you're more than nice. Hopefully that's not true because I'm nice. I hope people
No,
think.
it's not. It's not. No. It was just him being a smart ass, as I would
I
say.
like. I have a feeling me and him would be good friends too. And as
You would.
Here's another interesting one. I always like to hear the response, but who is your hero and inspiration? Mm,
Um, oh, I don't have one person who is my hero inspiration, but I'm very much, I very much, oh gosh, who can I go for? Well, I do like everything that Michael J. Fox has achieved, but I feel like he's been said a million times by everyone. But I do love his humility. I don't mean to don't mean to put it down or anything, but I love you, Michael J. But
hope hope he's watching.
uh,
We love you.
yeah, let's hope he's watching. But apart from him, I'm looking at historical figures, you know, I do love I do I, I do like what Muhammad Ali did with. I mean, he was just so funny, and he was so smart with the things he said. I look and I also in the UK looking you say public figures, but actually I've got people nearby me that I find inspirational in every day as well, like Joe Tosh. I think you've had her on your podcast before, and she's amazing. For me, she's a little bit of inspiration every day type thing, looking at her her social media posts or just WhatsApping her or whatever. I like to see inspiration in the everyday things around me and the everyday people around me because everyone is special. No one is truly everyday. So that's what I try and not try, I do see it in the people around me. And I see it in my mum and my mother-in-law. To be honest, the people who inspire me most are those two women in my life, my mum and my mother-in-law. They're very they're very brilliant, both of them.
I appreciate you sharing that. And you kind of touched on this one, but what drives and motivates you to keep also advocating, even though some days might be kind of tougher?
Because we deserve a cure. And I want a cure for my family, I want a cure for my friends, I want a cure for us, and we deserve it. So every day, that is what drives me. I mean, I don't know whether this thing's genetic. They say that I don't have a genetic variant, but who knows really? Things are being discovered every day. I don't want my children to have it in the future. I don't want my grandchildren to have it. I don't want anyone's children or grandchildren to have it in the future. So to be honest, it's the future that drives me. It's all of our children, I suppose, and all the people I love.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's same with me. I mean, I don't know if I'll have it or how individuals gain it. I think my mother might have been due to environment, but I kind of think more about you and everyone out there before me, because I want to end this before I even would have that diagnosis.
Mm.
So it's very important what everyone out there is doing. And also, we send our love to all the listeners as we kind of unfortunately wrap up soon, because I know you have to get back to the beautiful family and I could keep you for hours, but here's a fun one. If you were asked to write a script to a movie about your life story, what would you call it and what actress would play your role?
Oh gosh, what would I call it? I would call it. Oh, you're asking me to be witty on the spot. It doesn't come naturally to me.
It's okay. I'll do your answer.
The Tooth Doctor or something. I don't know.
I like that.
Um,
I think The Rock had a movie, Tooth Fairy, so you can't take that one.
yeah, he did, didn't he? He had a movie called Tooth Fairy. Or Rebel Without a Cause would be something like that. Would be me as well. Actually, that could be me too. Um, Tooth Fixer. What do I have written under my Twitter? It's a Tooth Fixer Unintentional PD
Yeah.
Fighter. It's a bit long-winded though, isn't it?
That's okay. You're allowed. That's your answer, and I will keep it. And what actress would play your role if you have one? That's even tougher than the name, I think.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of. I would probably want a South Asian actress.
That's
But I don't
okay.
know any of them nowadays. I don't know.
Well, we'll take you back
Well,
on that in the
yeah,
future.
I'll have to come back to you on that one.
Yeah.
I don't know who I would have play me.
Well,
My nieces, they're actresses. They do drama. My nieces could play
well,
me.
keep it in the family.
Yeah, keep it in the family. Why not, eh?
And if you could, well, there's one more question, but before that, I don't know if there's any other kind of main areas on dental or areas you wanted to share that we didn't cover, because I do think that what you bring today is so unique, rare, and important that I'm so grateful again for the time today. I don't know if there's an area or topic you wanted to touch on, or did we cover most of it?
I just want to re-emphasize that please don't neglect your oral health. While you are healthy, you should be going and you're still mobile and able to go places and do things yourself. Please make sure you get into the habit of seeing a dentist and hygienist at least every 6 months, if not every 3 months. Keep your oral health under control now. Get yourself into good eating habits. Have chewing gum with xylitol if you want, but don't have lots of sweeties and candy or whatever you want to call it in between meals and whatever. Just look after your health from now because you'll be thanking yourself in the future.
Thanks. No, it means a lot. And if you could leave the Parkinson's community today with some words of encouragement, what would they be?
Go easy on yourself. Keep looking up, and don't worry so much. Don't worry so
I'll worry for everyone.
much.
I
There's
appreciate
no
it.
need to worry. There's no need to worry. It will be okay. That's what I always keep saying. I hope it will be okay. I don't know how I can say that when I've got Parkinson's, but I still always say it.
No, that's
I'm an
always
optimist.
and positive. It's always important to be positive, even though through my sadness and loss and darkness, I find there's been a light like you who's come through the other end. And I would never have had the opportunity to be here with you now, or everyone listening, and the other incredible guests in the past, present, and the future. So, my mother, in a way, her memory lives on through everyone I
It
meet. So
does
I'm
indeed.
grateful for
It,
that.
our children always carry bits of us with them, whether they want to or not.
It's funny if you met my mother, and I tell everyone listening all the time, she'd be like, George, don't waste your time, spend it with your family. But she didn't raise me like that. So she knows where if she's looking down that I'm not going to stop until there's a cure for everybody out there listening. And
Thank you so much, George. You are doing amazing work. Thank you very much from me and from, I'm sure, the rest of the Parkinson's community as well.
I appreciate it. And I just want to thank you again for your time. I want to really please encourage everyone to go to the doctor's incredible social media, which I actually am going to put the literal site so you can just click on and join her and like her and love her. They need a button for love now, not just like. But I do have a message for you and everyone listening. We love you. We support you. We care a lot about you, and you're never alone. I, along with the incredible doctor, will advocate for you, and I feel together our voices are so much stronger. And I always say I'm just getting started because even though I'm not, every time I have a tough thing, whether surgery or just life, work, family, and tough holidays, I go to social media at times and look at your incredible work. And you truly inspire me in so many. So I'm so, again, honored, lucky, and grateful that we had this talk today. And I do feel everyone, not just share it, but you need to continue this conversation on dental, on Parkinson's awareness, and on how important family support is. It can't
Yeah,
end when the lights,
absolutely.
cameras stop now. We have to keep sharing this until the cure is at everyone's doorsteps around the world. So I really, again, want to thank you for your time, doctor. Thank you
Thank you so
all.
much. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. Please enjoy the holidays. We'll probably be sharing this beyond that, so someone will watch this and be like scratching their, what holidays he talking?
Thanksgiving.
But this again doesn't end. I do want to wish everyone a beautiful holiday, but for those diagnosed, for the families, for the caregivers, and for those who aren't, please just join together and keep fighting, because the only way we're going to come closer to a cure, I believe, is by doing what we're doing now. And please
Exactly.
just thank you again. So I want to thank you, Doctor. Thank everyone listening. Today's been another episode of Q&A with Sharon's son, George, but we can't stop the fight. Just continues until there's a cure at everybody's doorsteps globally. I'll be right by your side fighting. So I thank you again, Doctor. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Thank you so much.
I
Thank you for
send our
having me.
love and support. Thanks, everyone.
Take
Please.
care, guys. Bye bye.